Good morning, happy Friday. I'm gonna tell you one little secret on what's the most important thing to be successful. And also, in a way, this kind of explains why this channel even exists. I got a popular designer reach out to me a while ago and told me that if I skipped doing all those weird mindfulness videos and just focus on some Figma tutorials, I would have had a lot more subscribers. And yeah, probably, but it's really not the point, because I'm not teaching you here to be a good designer only, because this is just one thing, this is just one little thing, and my goal is a little bit bigger than that. My goal is to teach you how to be a better human, and designer is just a subset of that. So of course my freedom, my success and my way of life actually comes from the fact that I'm a designer and that I've done a lot of designs in my life, so I'm sharing that. But this is not the only thing that's important. I believe one of the most important things that you can do is to get out of your comfort zone and actually embrace the uncomfortable, because that kind of moves the baseline of what's comfortable for you. And life generally is not always going according to plan. It's not always comfortable. So by moving that baseline a little bit higher every time, you're actually preparing yourself, and also it's a lot easier for you to thrive when everything goes well. Okay, story time. I don't drink alcohol for a couple years now. I only drink non-alcoholic beers every now and then. And of course, during the New Year's Eve, I was completely sober. So the next morning on January 1st, 2021, I woke up at about 7 a.m. People were kind of drunk and sleeping it off after the party. And I decided to start a new challenge that day. So I decided to run 21 kilometers, which is like a half marathon, every month of this year. And I started on January 1st in the very early morning.
Okay, early morning, New Year's Day, and every little part of my body is saying no at this time. So let's do this.
Now, the thing about that is that I actually like running. I like running 10Ks and 5Ks, but I really hate running longer runs. Because at some point your body is simply trying to tell you that it's a bad idea, that you should give up. So just give up, just go back, just stop.
Saturday morning, 8 a.m. It's -6 and I'm gonna do this next one.
That inner bitch is something that you need to tame and you need to control, because big reveal time. It's all about discipline.
Okay, done. Only 10 more to go this year.
And if you manage to be disciplined with something that is really hard to do, something that you wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, yeah, the weather is not really nice, it's cold outside, it's a little bit dark, and I really don't want to go and run. And yet you do it anyway. And it works the same way with all of the other things that you're doing. If you're running a company, if you're doing design challenges, you usually don't want to do it because there is a million better options. You can watch Netflix, you can play some video games, you can watch YouTube or scroll Instagram. There's a million options that are nicer for you, more comfortable, and if you continue to do them, you'll feel good in the moment, but then after a longer period of time, you're gonna feel like you wasted the time, and that hurts.
Halfway through, and I really hate it.
And even though I really didn't want to do it, I completed all 12 runs. I finished the last one this Wednesday. I realized that I didn't want to do it so much this time. Even though it was the last one, even though it was kind of like, yeah, just this one last one and I'm done. I decided to punish myself a little bit more, and instead of 21K, I ran 1 kilometer more. Just to kind of show myself that if you don't want to do it, then you're gonna get a little bit more to do. Because this is how you prepare for all of the life's hurdles, and life is going to throw things at you, so you need to be able to catch them and face them head on, because otherwise you're not gonna be ready. And I think that discipline in things that are outside of your work, so kind of like if you do design then you take up running, it's a really good way to train, because your mind is not focused on that thing that it needs more energy for. And for design it needs quite a lot of energy, especially when you're learning. It needs to process all that new data and figure out the ways how you can be great at it. So to do something that is like really far from it, it's really healthy for you. And also, if you're not pushing yourself too hard, running can be beneficial for your health as well, both mental and physical. So no, this is not gonna be a channel only about tutorials. My goal here is to help you become happier, because that's the ultimate goal. It's not the goal of moving some rectangles in Figma the right way and getting a job that you can eventually start to hate. No, it's all about being a person that considers themselves successful. And as we've said before many times, success is basically all about owning your time. So yeah, I did it. 12 21k runs, 12 half marathons, one every month of 2021. And I'm really happy that I managed to fight my little inner bitch that was saying to me all the time. I was like, no, don't do it. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You already ran so many of these. It's fine. Don't go today. It's gloomy. It's dark. It's cold. There's just so many different things that you kind of tell yourself not to do something. And yet, you fight it and you do it. And that's the whole point. Discipline gets you far. Have a great weekend, friends. Cheers.